Can Bayer Leverkusen make it back-to-back defeats for Bayern Munich, or will Bayern Munich bounce back? My name is Douglas, and this is the Dugout Football Channel. Yes, people, the Bundesliga is back, and congratulations to Die Mannschaft becoming the first team to qualify for the Qatar World Cup as well. So congratulations to Germany. Now let's have a quick look at how everyone did in Matchweek 7, shall we? I have to say it was a pretty good week for me. I got 5 out of 9, and that's pretty good. The hat. This little fella got 3, so the hat got 3. So not too bad. I'll go through everyone's scores as well. So starting things off at the bottom this week was the hat that got 3. Ballum, Sean Brennan, Reese, and Galaxy, the Asian Sensational FC, and Chris Welsh all got 4. And then on to the 5s. 5s was the top score this week actually. Myself, Lanzo, Shane O'Donnell, and James Dunlop. Now, the league table will be in the description box down below. Go and have a look at that as well. So, let's start things off with the game on Friday, and it is Hoffenheim against FC Köln. 5 wins to Hoffenheim in the last 5 meetings. The last result was a 3-0 win to Hoffenheim. Well, you'd have to say that it was a very, very interesting week. It was a very, very interesting week because Hoffenheim lost 3-1 to VFB Stuttgart. Really, really interesting because, you know, in that game they actually took the lead. They took the lead in that game, and I look at that game and look, it's a very, very good win for VFB Stuttgart. You know, they needed to get the wins, but Hoffenheim have been kind of, you know, in and out of getting wins and getting draws. I'm surprised they got defeated. I thought Hoffenheim would continue the way that they've been playing, and I thought they would have got a win eventually. But it's going to be very, very interesting to see how well they can do in this game. FC Köln, well, a 3-1 win over Greuther Fürth. It has to be said, you know, Antonio Modeste is on absolute fire right now, and you know, I think FC Köln have actually proved a lot of people wrong. It's still early though. It's still very, very early. I know I predicted them to go down at the start of the season, but you know what? They've actually started really, really well, and getting a good start is very, very important as well. So looking at this game, I can only really say a Hoffenheim win, in all honesty. I think Hoffenheim should bounce back after a bad defeat to Stuttgart, so I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Hoffenheim. But I'm not counting out FC Köln by any stretch of the imagination as well. Now we have Borussia Dortmund against Mainz to start things off on Saturday. It is 2 wins to Dortmund, 2 wins to Mainz, and 1 draw. The last result was a 1-1 draw. What I will say, Borussia Dortmund, I mean, it was a good win in the end against Augsburg. You know, it was 1-1 for a long, long time. But you have to say that they are definitely missing Erling Haaland. I mean, Erling Haaland has been injured. It's going to be interesting if he can actually make this game. He did miss international duty with Norway. But you have to say, Jude Bellingham has been fantastic, hasn't he? He's been really, really good. Daniel Malin has really stepped up since Haaland's injury as well. So it's a very, very good game for Borussia Dortmund, and I look at this game and I think, Hoffenheim should bounce back after a bad defeat to Stuttgart, so I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Borussia Dortmund. Now we have Borussia Dortmund against Mainz to start things off on Saturday. It is 2 wins to Dortmund, 2 wins to Mainz, and 1 draw. The last result was a 1-1 draw. What I will say, Borussia Dortmund, I Mainz have been good. Surprise defeat, I think, to Union Berlin. I was thinking to myself, 1-0, 1-0 Mainz, and I thought, yeah, this is going to be another another score to add to my total. But unfortunately, Union Berlin did win by 2-1. Two very good goals from Taiwo Awoniyi, who has proven that he can actually do it in this league as well. So very, very well done to Taiwo Awoniyi. But Mainz have started the season very, very well indeed. But Dortmund at home, you'd have to expect Dortmund to probably win this game. I am going to go for a 3-1 win to Borussia Dortmund. I think Dortmund will win this one. And now we have Eintracht Frankfurt against Hertha Berlin. 3 wins to Frankfurt, 1 win to Hertha and 1 draw. The last result was a 3-1 win to Eintracht Frankfurt. Well, who saw this coming? Bayern Munich 1-0 up, and then all of a sudden Eintracht Frankfurt win 2-1 to shock the champions. Absolutely unbelievable result. And it has to be said, they deserved it. Bayern did pose a lot of threat to Eintracht Frankfurt, managed to get the early goal. But after that, Frankfurt really settled down, and it is a surprising win, but you have to say they have been threatening wins. The draw specialists, as I like to call them, in the Bundesliga, but it was a fantastic victory for Eintracht Frankfurt. So they'll hope now to build on that and hopefully, get a good win in this one. Hertha Berlin lost by 2-1 against Freiburg. Disappointing as well. They are struggling, and I think they are missing a little bit of creativity. They obviously do have Serdar from Schalke, and they are missing Matthias Cunha. I think they are missing his goals. He was a big contributor to their goals and assists last season. So I think they're definitely missing something as well. So with that being said, I fully expect Frankfurt to build on that, and I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Frankfurt. I think Frankfurt will be too strong for Hertha. And now we have Freiburg against RB Leipzig, two sides who are starting to find their feet as well. It is 1 win to Freiburg, 1 draw, and 3 wins to Leipzig. The last result was a 3-0 win to Leipzig. You have to say though, Freiburg have they did win by 2-1 against Hertha Berlin, and that was a very, very good victory. Another come from behind game that they had to do that. They are in front of their home fans, and you have to say, Leipzig did win by 3-0 against Bochum. Bochum are not playing very, very well, but Leipzig are still a very, very dangerous side. However, I look at this game and I'm thinking to myself, Freiburg can win this game. I actually think Freiburg could cause Leipzig a lot of problems. Apologies, obviously, to Antonio, and I know Lanzo is a big Freiburg fan as well. I just have a feeling Freiburg are going to win this game. I don't know why, but after an international break, it can either derail your fortunes or it can actually build on it. And I just think that the international break maybe came at the right time for Freiburg, maybe came at the wrong time for Leipzig. So I'm going to go for a 1-0 win to Freiburg. I think that could be one that could divide opinion for me, but for me, I'm going to go Freiburg to win that one 1-0. And now we have Greuther Fürth against VFL Bochum. 2 wins to Bochum and 2 wins to Greuther Fürth, 1 draw. Last result was a 2-1 win to Bochum, but it has to be said, these two teams are definitely struggling. Really, really struggling. I mean, Greuther Fürth are getting goals. You'd have to say, they are starting to, score goals. Itten got one against Bayern Munich the previous week as well. But you just look at these two teams, and you have to wonder where the goals are going to come from as well. I am going to say that I don't think this is going to be a classic. I don't think there's going to be many chances. Greuther Fürth are looking for a first home win in I think 20 league games in the Bundesliga. So you'd have to say that Greuther Fürth needs to start getting the points on the board. Bochum, they've got some points on the board. You'd have to say both teams are struggling, but Greuther Fürth definitely needs to get at least a win or a point on the board. So I think they'll get something from this game, but don't be surprised if this is 0-0. Do not be surprised if this is 0-0. I'm going to go for a 0-0 draw between Greuther Fürth and VFL Bochum. I don't think there's going to be many chances. And as I've said, I think both of these sides are definitely struggling. So 0-0 draw I'm going to go for in that one. And then we have Union Berlin against Wolfsburg. It is 3 wins to Wolfsburg and 2 draws. The last result was a 2-2 draw. I mean, Union Berlin getting a very good 2-1 win away at Mainz, which is a very, very good victory. Taiwo Awoniyi, as I've said, he has been fantastic. And a very, very good signing for Liverpool. 6.5 million from Liverpool. He has been very, very good. I think that's now 8 goals this season already. He's had a very, very good start to the season. Wolfsburg starting to slip down the table a little bit. A 3-1 defeat to Borussia Monchengladbach. I mean, I didn't expect Borussia Monchengladbach to win that game, but you have to say it was I think Borussia Mönchengladbach went into like a 3-0 lead, and then all of a sudden Wolfsburg managed to get a consolation goal, but it's disappointing to see the way that they've been playing recently, Wolfsburg. However, I look at this game and Union Berlin, I think, are better away from home than they are at home. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Wolfsburg. I think Wolfsburg will bounce back. And again, I think the international break did come at the right time for Wolfsburg as well. So we move into the evening game. It is Borussia Mönchengladbach against VFB Stuttgart. 2 wins to Mönchengladbach, 2 wins to Stuttgart and 1 draw. The last result was a 2-1 win to Stuttgart. As I've said, Mönchengladbach getting a 3-1 win over Wolfsburg, which was a very, very good victory. And now we're starting to see the ideas that Adi Hütter is getting across to his side. Zacharias had a very good international break as well. And so has Jan Sommer as well. So Borussia Mönchengladbach will be hoping to build on this result there against Wolfsburg, you'd have to say. VfB Stuttgart, another team that are building on another result. They won 3-1 against Hoffenheim. Very, very good victory that was as well. So this is a very tricky one to call, but I just think because of Mönchengladbach's last win against Wolfsburg, I think that will give them a much needed confidence as well. They do need to get home wins, to be honest with you. They do need to get home wins. I think they've only won 1 home game this season, and I think that was against Arminia Bielefeld, if my memory serves me correctly. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Borussia Mönchengladbach. I think it will be a good afternoon's work for Mönchengladbach, die Fohlen, of course. And now we have the match of the weekend by a long stretch of the imagination. It is Bayer Leverkusen against Bayern Munich. 4 wins to Bayern Munich and 1 win to Leverkusen. The last result was a 2-1 win to Bayern Munich. Leverkusen, how did they do in the last match week? They got a 4-0 win over Arminia Bielefeld. Yeah, that was quite dominant performance. Florian Wirtz, the star of the show yet again. It's only a matter of time before Hansi Flick calls him up to the German national squad. I think he's going to be a fantastic player. Obviously Celtic were on the end of a 4-0 drubbing as well by Bayer Leverkusen. As well, so Bayer Leverkusen are playing very, very well as well, and they are very, very good at home. So it's going to be a really interesting game because Bayern Munich, as I've said, they are coming off the back of a 2-1 defeat to Eintracht Frankfurt. Yeah, disappointing. I mean, obviously we've got 2 of the brightest prospects on show in this game. We've got Musiala for Bayern Munich and obviously Florian Wirtz of Leverkusen. So I look at this game and can Bayer Leverkusen do it again? I am going to say that they will beat Bayern Munich. They haven't got a very good record against Bayern Munich, but I think that they can win this one. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Leverkusen and Munich to have 2 defeats in a row. I don't think the last time we had that was a long time ago. So I'm going to go for a Leverkusen to make it back-to-back defeats for Bayern Munich. And the last game is Augsburg against Arminia Bielefeld. 4 wins to Augsburg and 1 draw. The last result was a 0-0 draw. This could go any of either ways, and of being honest. I mean, Augsburg, they lost 2-1 to Dortmund. Unlucky to lose in the end as well. So it's going to be very, very intriguing to see if they can bounce back from this. Arminia Bielefeld definitely need to bounce back. A 4-0 drubbing at the hands of Bayer Leverkusen. How do I see this one going? Augsburg. I'm going to go for an Augsburg win. I'm going to go for a 1-0 win to Augsburg in this one. So we now have my predictions, and we will see what the hat thinks as well. So I've gone Hoffenheim 2, Köln 0, Borussia Dortmund 3, Mainz 1, Frankfurt 2, Hertha 0, Freiburg 1, Leipzig 0, Greuther 0, Bochum 0, Union Berlin 1, Wolfsburg 2, Borussia Mönchengladbach 2, VFB Stuttgart 0, Bayer Leverkusen 2, Bayern Munich 1, and Augsburg 1, Bielefeld 0. So, see what the hat thinks. It got 3 last time, so just check. Let's check that they're all in here. So we have Hoffenheim against FC Köln, home win. Yeah, I think Hattie is agreeing with me there, so that's a home win there. Borussia Dortmund against Mainz, away win. Interesting. Could see that. Could easily see that, actually. Eintracht Frankfurt against Hertha Berlin, home win. Frankfurt to continue their good form, I would say. Freiburg against RB Leipzig, draw. I could see that. I could easily see a draw happening in that game. Greuther Fürth against VFL Bochum. What does a hat think for this one? Home win. Well, they need to get a home win. They've not won in 20 home league games in the Bundesliga, so they definitely need a home win somewhere. Could it come this weekend? We shall see. Union Berlin against Wolfsburg. What's the hat think? He says a draw. Could be very, very intriguing, that one. Borussia Mönchengladbach against VFB Stuttgart, home win. I am very, very hopeful about that. We shall see. Bayer Leverkusen against Bayern Munich. What is the hat thinking for this one? Draw in this one. Interesting. And finally, Augsburg against Arminia Bielefeld, home win. So I think the hat might be doing pretty well here. So hat's gone for a home win for Hoffenheim, an away win for Mainz, a home win for Eintracht Frankfurt, a draw between Freiburg and Leipzig, home win for Greuther Fürth. Well, they need a home win from somewhere. A draw between Union Berlin and Wolfsburg, home win for Borussia Mönchengladbach against VfB Stuttgart, draw between Bayer Leverkusen and Bayern, and a home win between Augsburg and Arminia Bielefeld. So that's what I think, that's what the hat thinks. Get your predictions in the comment section down below. Can you get 9 out of 9? We will see as well. And as I mentioned previously before, the league table is in the description box down below. So go and have a look, and it should be very, very interesting. But until then, it's goodbye from me, and I'll see you in the next one. Auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss.